This is the RV Advisor Podcast with your host, Tom Alexander. Get all the latest information, trends, advice from experts, stories from the road, and more in the world of recreational vehicles. Now, here's Tom.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the RV Advisor Podcast. I'm Tom Alexander, and my guests today are Ray and Jason Miller. And hi, folks. How are you?
We're doing well. How are you?
Doing very well, thank you. Doing well. And you guys are, you just told me offline that we're getting you today from your RV, which is currently just outside of Yellowstone at Henry's Lake, Idaho.
Yes.
Man,
beautiful here.
It just sounds beautiful. We don't have a view of that right now, but I got to tell you, it just envisioning, the Great West, which is, I'm a big fan of. It's just got to be gorgeous. It's sort of like a continuation of Big Sky Country, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's pretty nice. The temperature dropped for 2 or 3 days now, and then it's going to go back up. But we got a really nice dusting of snow on the mountaintops around us, so it just added to the picturesqueness of the area.
Yeah, that's great. And you guys are as you could tell by your t-shirt, for those viewing it, there are people that just do audio only and listen, but you have a t-shirt that says Getaway, and you are the Getaway Couple. And if you go to getawaycouple.com, you can track the adventures, but also you've got the RV Masterclass. We're going to get into all that stuff and find out all about it, but it looks like you're all situated there in your RV. Tell us what you ride around in these days and live in.
Yes. So we started full-timing in July of 2017, and that whole time we've been in our 2018 Grand Design Solitude. So we were a little nervous downsizing from a 3-bedroom house, so we got like the biggest RV you could get. So it's a 42-foot fifth wheel, but we still love it. I mean, we've learned the ropes, and
yeah, it took about a year of getting used to dragging it around the country, but now we absolutely love it because it's so big. We have like one stressful day every 2 weeks, which is travel day, but then we have like 13 very comfortable days.
Yeah.
So It's definitely worth the trade-off.
That's great. So now you're at Henry's Lake, and where were you prior to this?
Previously we were in Utah, so we did some of the national parks down there when they started opening up again in May. And then we've just we've been boondocking this whole time. So we've been chasing the cooler temperatures. So we keep finding ourselves more and more north.
I see.
Yeah.
Are you skiers? Are you winter sports people? Is that kind of part of the grand design here?
We're not, although we should be, being from Los Angeles. I mean, we have done plenty of winter sports, but that's not how we decide our travel. Most of the time, it's like hot springs, and so we try to find all the hot springs we can.
Oh, that's cool. So LA is home for you guys.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. What kind of work were you doing? I mean, are you still doing a similar work now than you were before you went full timing?
So when we hit the road, Ray was a project manager and she was able to quit her job. But I did information security and I was a incident response analyst. And so I was able to take that remotely. And for the first 2 years, I continued to do that. But as of November, we transitioned to fully Getaway Couple, for now at least, for the freedom of just traveling.
Yeah, so the transition, other than the obvious kind of being careful and being smart in this COVID era, you already sort of beat everybody to the party, or if you want to call it that, or to the chase of sort of learning, isolating, and being on your own and kind of work from home, literally work and ride from home, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
We feel a lot of our friends let us know that we were reached out to a lot during COVID, and they kept saying, now we know what you live like. And I'd have to say the biggest difference is, yes, you feel, stuck at home, but with RVing, we could leave whenever we want. So that was still an adjustment for us of, well, we've been in a smaller space for years. However, not being able to leave it was new, and that was mentally challenging for us.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, let's take a quick break because I want to learn more about the Getaway Couple and also the RV Masterclass. So we're going to talk about all that on the other side of the break. This is the RV Advisor Podcast. I'm Tom Alexander. Our guests are Ray and Jason Miller. Back in a moment.
The RVACA is a charitable organization protecting the rights of the RV owners. We'll work with dealers and manufacturers to ensure quality control is in place prior to delivery of an RV. Additionally, the RVACA provides assistance to disaster relief victims. Visit rvaca.org.
We're back on the RV Advisor Podcast. My guests are Ray and Jason Miller, and they are from the getawaycouple.com. That's getawaycouple.com, and also they have the RV Masterclass, which we're going to find out about. The Getaway Couple. So tell me the origin of this. How did this? I'm guessing that once you guys decided to go full time, you were the Getaway Couple. But tell us a little bit about it.
So we actually started Getaway Couple before we even thought about RVing. We went and we would travel a lot just with our vacation. We would take our 2 weeks vacation every year, and we would switch between overseas travel and domestic travel. And so we kind of just started it as really an Instagram to share pictures because I just liked taking pictures.
Yep.
And then when we hit the road, it was just a very easy, natural transition, and it still fits.
Yeah.
We're still getting away.
Yeah. And that's when we started the YouTube channel, was when we hit the road. We had never really videoed or documented in that form any of our travels. So our YouTube channel is exclusively RV related.
I see. And so you've been, well, let me ask you this. Sometimes people, when they go overseas, they still RV. They rent an RV. Have you guys ever done that, or has it just been you go to Europe and you're kind of do it in the traditional sense?
Well, we would love to do that now. We actually didn't really even know anything about RVing when we were traveling internationally, and now that we've been immersed in it for 3 years, we would love to RV in different countries.
Yeah, not a lot of our friends or family have RVs in Los Angeles. There's just nowhere to park them.
Right. Yeah, space is at a premium, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And what countries have you been to overseas? Can you give us a few highlights?
Well, for our honeymoon, we went to Italy, and then we did a cruise through a couple of different Greek islands. We've gone to Mexico a couple of times. We went to Germany.
Yeah, we've done a bunch of the Caribbean islands, St. Martin, Anguilla, Puerto Rico, just pretty much anywhere that we see, and they have cheap flights at the time.
Yes.
Makes sense. That's good. So obviously, folks can follow your adventures and your travels, and even now in this age of COVID, you guys are still moving around, which is awesome. But you couldn't be in a better place than an RV, where really with sheltering in place, so to speak, or sheltering on the move, if you will. You're able to do that.
Yeah,
and boondocking definitely helps out with that. So we're not even in close contact like we normally would be in RV parks. We're really just out here by ourselves. So it's great.
That's awesome. So the RV Masterclass, that's a site as well, and it's rvmasterclass.com. You guys make it easy. It's like all right. It's not some kind of bizarre, long handle in terms of, the URL. It's just, that's it. It's the rvmasterclass.com. Tell us about that.
Yeah. So we originally us and the co-owners, co-creators of RV Masterclass, which is our friends Tom and Caitlin Morton from Morton's on the Move, and Kyle and Olivia Brady from Driving and Vibin', came together last year right before the Tampa RV show and put on a course called RV Buyers Boot Camp right before the Tampa RV show at the Lazy Days dealership, and just to teach people how to buy RVs before they're going to the big RV show so they don't get overwhelmed, what to look for, etc. And so that was an in-person event, and we filmed it, and we made that course available online as just a virtual option. And so we really, really liked the feedback. We really like helping people in that kind of structured format.
Yeah.
And so COVID came around, and while we had planned to do additional teaching events, we didn't think it would be smart to do a bunch of in-person teaching events.
Right.
And so we quickly shifted to virtual courses and finished those out and made them available. So we have 3 courses, which are we call signature courses, and that's RV Buyers Boot Camp, and it teaches you everything you need to buy an RV. Boondocking 101, which teaches you everything you need to boondock or camp for free, like we are right now. And Preparing to Full-Time, which teaches you everything you need to know about preparing to full-time. And so we started with those courses because they were the ones that most confused us and scared us hitting the road.
Yeah.
There's so many other RV content creator courses out there. And so we also have, it's kind of like a marketplace, and we were able to try to get all the different creator courses into one location.
Yeah.
So
we do have 12 other courses on there as well.
Yeah, like Les Junk More Journey did a course on going to Alaska and all the steps and preparing, and so like that one's on there, and it's pretty popular. And so just anything that any creator has done, we like to put it on there. So because it's kind of hard to find like what you need in all of the, especially now, media blowing up everywhere.
Yeah, that's true. And you hit on something very interesting there, because sort of this is a new territory for you overall. I mean, relatively speaking, on the timeline, you haven't been doing this forever, and there's people that have been out there doing RVing for decades, right? But it's an interesting thing because there are certain things that you may not be familiar with. Who better to sort of say, hey, guess what? We're really curious about item X, Y, and Z, and no one's doing it. So why not us? Because we're asking the questions, right? So, you're in a position to also answer those questions and then impart that newfound wisdom, right, with other folks. And that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I think it was the questions we asked ourselves, like you said, but then also I think once you start living this lifestyle, those seem like really easy things to answer. And, I would think a lot of our viewers wouldn't even feel the need to go back and make something like that. But, especially this year, RVing is just growing every single year, and people continuously have those basic questions and need that little help and guidance.
Yeah. It's so daunting before you get into it. It's like information overload, right? There's so much and so many different opinions in RVing also. And so we like I personally like structured learning formats. And so that's what we aim to create.
Yeah. Well, that's terrific. And so obviously you can go to rvmasterclass.com. That's rvmasterclass.com if you're interested and you want to learn about all the great things. When I go to the site, what's, the best way to just sort of reach out and say, okay, how do I get started? What do I do?
Yeah, so we tried to make it pretty simple. We're trying to, if you just scroll straight down from the site, you can either click the All Courses button right at the top to see all the courses that are offered are signature courses and other creators' courses, or if you're interested in just seeing the signature courses that we created, there's a button for that as well. But as you scroll down the site, you'll see also the our most like highest selling courses are there. So if you want to see what other people are buying,
I'm looking at them right now. I see Boondocking 101. These are great. RV Buyers Boot Camp, preparing to full-time RV, which it's a big deal. Because when you make that transition, I mean, everybody at some point, if they're full-timers, I don't know too many people that started their lives out in an RV, but they usually transition from brick and mortar to that lifestyle. So everybody's got to learn that transition, right? You got motorhome orientation and fifth wheel orientation, buy the right RV, travel trailer orientation, some great stuff. Successful RVing to Alaska, as you mentioned. Lots of really cool things here. So go to the all courses page on rvmasterclass.com and you can find out a whole bunch of stuff and also interact. I guess if they want to had any questions, they can do that. They can speak with you as well, connect with you folks. And absolutely. I guess you could just contact right there off the site and say hi to Ray and Jason and find out what the latest is, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. So what's next? So you came from Utah to here where you are at Henry's Lake in Idaho, and now it's off to. Do we know yet?
We might spend some time in Montana, but we are going in August to be meeting up with Morton's on the Move. Caitlin and I, our birthdays are only 2 days apart, so we
okay.
Our birthdays together this year.
So you got a birthday coming up in July.
In August, yeah.
In August.
So we spend, July in Montana and then August in Michigan. That's where they're located.
Okay, great. Lots of fun up there too. There's, we talk to a lot of people on the show, and we haven't visited every state yet, but we've visited quite a bit, and every state has something cool to offer. Varying degrees of terrain and beauty and things to do and different kinds of people, and it's just great. And I think RVing is obviously one of the best ways in the world to experience all of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, thanks folks so much for joining us. Again, it's the Getaway Couple. It is Ray and Jason Miller, and also the RVmasterclass.com as well. You want to learn more about everything they do, and you want to learn about the future of online RV education, because it's right there, folks. That's where it is. It's online at RV Masterclass, and I'd recommend you check it out. Folks, thanks so much.
Thank you. We had a blast.
Well, I did as well. This is the RV Advisor Podcast. I'm Tom Alexander. We'll see you next time. So long, everybody.